See, I'm a testimony. Born a woman, I transitioned into a man, and then I detransitioned back into a woman, all by God's grace, right? And God blessed my womb. Having faithful friends is so important. I went for Thanksgiving back to California. I met up with my friends, my friend and her husband, and he showed me his prayer log in his phone back from September 1st, which is my birthday. And he said that he prayed for my womb, right? So that I could get pregnant. And it happened. So like having faithful friends is so awesome. Like I didn't even know, you know what I mean? Like he'd be praying for that. I was like, what the heck? Like you really never know who was like actually out there like praying for you. And I love to find out who is. But yeah, so I'm 13 weeks pregnant. We're not finding out the gender. The gender reveal will happen in the delivery room. But yeah, super excited. Went to the gym today. Just finished eating the citrus chicken wrap from Publix, and I'm dreading having to make dinner. But I'll make it. But yeah, I figured I might as well finally drop in. I wanted to wait until I'll just wait at least until 12 weeks. I'm out of the trenches now of the first trimester. We're at 13 weeks, so I'm out of the trenches of the first trimester, thank God. Y'all, I was like, dang, that thing grew off of gummy worms, sour gummy worms, and Panda Express, let me tell you. That's all I can freaking eat. Now I'm actually eating like salmon, avocado, rice, spaghetti squash. I'm like eating I was craving like healthy food, finally. But that first trimester, it was just like the thought of things, the ideas of certain foods, I was just like, no. I don't want it. I don't want it. I think I'm gonna be sick. But yeah, so that's the update. There's not a particular gender that I want. I mean, I want both. Eventually, I'd like to at least have at least one with each, a boy and a girl. But we'll see what God does. But even just one child is a blessing from my past. It's such a blessing, and it's just like, wow, God. Before you, I was transgender, and I was also trying to take my life. And now I'm able to give my parents and my spouse's parents their first child. Freaking nuts, But yeah, that's the praise report.
Amazing. First and foremost, congratulations to them. She didn't mention that she was married to a man. She said her spouse. She talked about Christian friends and her friend's husband. So it's just my guess. She's talking about God. I didn't go into her page. I'm just reacting to it right off the video. And I did read the comment section. But anyway, I was going to say congratulations to them. And listen, it's a blessing when we find ourselves in utter darkness, confused about our identity, doing things we have no business doing, things that are destructive to our mind, to our finances, to our family, to our soul, and even to our body. Like she said, she went as far as to transition, and she was talking about taking her own life. And and then she detransitioned back, and that's why it's so important. It's so important that we have an identity through God and who He says we are, and that we have people around us that encourage us to be who He's made us to be, for us to know who He's created us and how beautiful we are, because it's a lot of things going on in the world today, things that when I was growing up, I didn't have to hear it. there was no confusion. A boy was a boy, a girl was a girl. I'm sure there were some people who were struggling with that, but that wasn't there. There wasn't this agenda to confuse children. It wasn't like that. Now it is, and I'm so grateful. Not even just children. It's even out there to confuse adults, like adults who are vulnerable, who are struggling with their identity. It's like, well, you can be what you're struggling with. Like, if you're a woman and you think you're a man, you can be a man. It's like, it's even causing vulnerable adults to fall into it, and we just have to be careful. We have to have the right people in our lives. I'm just so grateful that she's on the other side of this, and it's still important to just have right friends and keep these people in prayer, because this is a journey. Like, salvation and the work of Christ, and I'm sure there's things that she has days and moments to where it's challenging, but it's a journey, and God is faithful through it. The ups and downs, the ins and outs of it, He's faithful. I'm grateful that she's having this experience. Now, I will say I did read a few of the comments, and when I was reading the comments, there were several people in there that were saying that they also had transitioned before, and they had transitioned and then detransitioned. So now they're happy to hear her story, because her story is giving them hope. And that's what that's what this channel is all about. Giving the hope, of God, like all things are possible with God. No matter what, there's hope. And reading that comment section it was amazing to see that people are being inspired by her sharing this testimony. But I do want to point this out. One of the downsides, like, there are consequences to our decisions, and it's not that God is punishing us, it's just things that happen based off what we've done. When she transitioned, she cut her chest. So unfortunately, she's not able to breastfeed. That was one of the things that she was sharing in the comment section with someone, that she's not able to breastfeed, but she's just thankful that God entrusted her with an opportunity to be a mother and to even to have a child. So it's important that we do our part to make sure, even when we disagree with the direction a person is going in, to keep them in our prayers. It's not about going back and forth with them about whether they're right and wrong all the time. It's just not about that. Like, if we're given the space and clarity, we believe clarity on who they are and what they're doing needs to be spoken, and we do that. But however, if it's not there, the least we should be doing is being prayerful. As long as what they're doing is not challenging the boundaries that we've set for ourselves in our lives and our homes, we should be praying for them to come into the knowledge of truth. And I'm just grateful that she did. And it just proves, like, to go from being a woman to trying to be a man to going back to be a woman in hopes of being able to be a mother. Like, it just shows you there's really a wrestle there. There's something that our fellow humans are dealing with in life, And for her, this was her wrestle. For someone else, it could be alcohol. For another person, it could be, corn. For another person, it can be gluttony. Like, we just have to remember that people are dealing with things just like we are, and the same grace and mercy from God and humans that we need and that we desire, we should be extending it to others. It does not mean that we deny truth. It does not mean that we go along with agendas. It does not mean that we forego our convictions and remove our boundaries. It does not mean that. But we can have boundaries, have convictions, have our faith, and at the same time give people grace and mercy and love, just the way it's been given to us. I think this is a wonderful testimony. I'm so happy. I don't know them, and I'm happy. And I think it's just a beautiful story, because I know there are other people who are dealing with this. I know women who never transition, who are never confused, and aren't able to get pregnant or praying for a child. So I know this is an amazing story on both fronts for her to even mention, like, you know, just where she was and how God has just kind of like turned her life around in a way that's mind blowing, you know. To God be the glory. I pray it's a healthy child, and I just hope all the best. But y'all let me know what y'all think about this video in the comment section, and we'll take the conversation over there. I'll see y'all in the next video.
Stand on it, be strong.